loved one, your whole world is turned upside down. It's never fully restored. Now imagine you just had your whole world updone, and then on top of that, you cannot get the justice your loved one deserved because the state you live in does not administer the death penalty. This is a horrible burden on the families of these loved ones, and is one of the key reasons I believe that the death penalty should be administered in all states. I believe that the death penalty should be administered in all states because it is more humane than life imprisonment, deters violent crimes, and is a just punishment for most of the criminals on death row. Headmost, I believe that the death penalty is more humane than life imprisonment because life imprisonment often causes 3 mental disorders: hypervigilance, distrust, and suspicion. These 3 are caused because when you are in a prison, you're surrounded by a bunch of prisoners who try to exploit every weakness you have. And there's no escape or way out from these prisoners. This causes you to immediately become very hypervigilant, distrustful, and suspicious. This was stated in the article, The Psychological Impact of Incarceration, Implications for Post-Prison Adjustment. The second reason why the death penalty is more humane than life imprisonment is social withdrawal and isolation. This being due to the fact that, one, you become suspicious, especially in prison, you isolate yourself from the rest of the prisoners, causing yourself to retreat deep into your own thoughts and simply trust nobody. And as stated in the article before, The Psychological Impact of Incarceration, Implications for Post-Prison Adjustment, this causes a mental pattern similar to that of clinical depression, which shows that life imprisonment is indeed more harsh to humans than the death penalty. The second reason why I believe the death penalty is a just form of punishment is it deters violent crimes. It wards off people from committing these crimes. As stated in the article, Does the Death Penalty Deter Violent Crimes? It says that 7 people are saved with each execution because murderers who are planning on killing somebody think twice instead of once about are they going to kill the person or not. And although it may not seem that simple, it kind of is, because this second thought process delivers the fear of getting caught and having your own life ended. The second reason why the death penalty deters violent crimes is it does not allow criminals to repeat these crimes. And it simply does this by getting rid of the worst criminals out there. If you brutally torture somebody and end up killing them, you're not going to be any good for the planet. So, if you receive the death penalty, you're not going to be able to commit that crime again, and the world is probably going to be better without you, in all honesty. And this was also found by Does the Death Penalty Deter Violent Crimes? The final reason why the death penalty is just punishment is because most of the criminals on death row should receive the death penalty by the acts they have committed. And this being due to the fact that the death penalty is not allowed to be out of proportion to the crime committed. So, in the 8th Amendment, one of the underlying concepts is if you receive the death penalty, the penalty administered has to be proportionate to the crime you've committed. It cannot be more gruesome. If anything, it has to be less. So this being why lethal injection is the preferred method of execution these days. So this causes the death penalty to be just, and it shows it's constitutional as well. Also, there have only been 3 federal death sentences since 1977. One being Timothy McVeigh, who bombed a federal building and killed 168 people. The second being Juan Garza, who's a murderer and drug trafficker. And the third being a former military sergeant who kidnapped and killed a female recruit. These are all very horrible very horrible crimes and deserve the death sentences they have received. Some people may say that the death penalty is way, not humane at all. And my rebuttal to this is, you think life imprisonment is humane then, because that's the only other alternative to life imprisonment. So you think it's more humane to have somebody living in a prison cell and maybe obtain a few psychological disorders, whereas the death penalty is usually fairly quick and not painful. It is clear that the death penalty is a just punishment for the people who are on death row, because it is more humane than life imprisonment, deters violent crimes, and is a just punishment for most of the criminals on death row. The death penalty should be administered because it protects innocent lives. If the criminals somehow find a way to escape the prison they're in, or somehow get released off of death row and a post-sentence trial, they will still be able to kill. And the death penalty is not allowed this to happen. So, therefore, I believe that the death penalty should be instituted in all states. Thank you.